Hello and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Terraformers. With another pop-up stream. This time we're going on to Expansionist. You will note since the last one I have played a little on my own, and I did actually go ahead and complete Opponent Knowledge on max difficulty. It took me 71 turns, so it's only a silver victory, but we'll see if we can basically do sort of the same in Expansionist. One big difference is instead of needing to go science, it's 100 locations settled in 10 cities. And actually, interestingly, what took me a long time on Planet Knowledge was actually getting the 90 locations explored. So that might be an issue with Expansionists, because, well, then we need to explore 100 and own them. We'll see how this goes. Not too worried about the 10 cities. More interested in like the difficulty with the settling the tiles, I think is what's going to be the case. Because we can get away with pretty small cities if we just need city count. Balanced growth and robotic. Oh, this is actually an interesting predicament. Do I go for basically the 2 food start here, or do I go for robotic, which is going to give me a power generation? What do we got for starting neighbors? We have a titanium, we have a large silicate. We've got either mineralogy coming in here with the titanium boost and the in-depth survey, or we have large-scale infrastructure. Probably in this run I'd prefer a large-scale infrastructure a little bit lighter. We will probably go mineralogy here. I'm thinking because we're going to go mineralogy that I want to actually go robots. Because this is going to provide me with 2 expands plus 2, so 4 expands basically, which means we can grab those 2 mines, really get those mines going, because we'll be able to expand them with in-depth survey. The alternative is just go growth, and then hope that we get expands really early on. Growth is probably better in the long run because we're going to get more food. We're going to get plus 2 food. This one provides no food. Yeah, we're going to go robots here. Yeah, we're going to robots. Okay, let's get our city down. We'll get the thermal generator down. We'll put the robot hub down so we've got the expands. Explore the titanium. Okay, we got another large silicate behind that. Okay. I could immediately, and we might go and claim it right away, because I know it's going to be a claim. But I think we're going to want to in-depth survey first, up that to 2. Choice-wise, thermal generator is tempting, farm is tempting. We're going to have to grow. I'm going to go for the farm. And then in-depth survey on the titanium deposit to make it large, so we get 2 yield instead of 1 yield from it. Have module, greenhouse, farm. Well, we already went ahead and grabbed the farm earlier. Actually, I probably should just grab the farm anyway. Grab the extra farm. Probably going to want 3 farms. We don't have any trading yet, so we'll go with the farm choice. There's a trade route. We are going to want the bus station. I might start trading for some tritium to get the bus station up. In-depth survey, which makes that a large silicate. Actually, titanium out will be silicates out. And then to finish the trifecta farms, soil factory makes sense. Okay. And then, yeah, we probably want to explore the 1-cost ones. More water. we'll get some science up there. Free exploration satellite. The big farm one up. More robots. Give us more expands. We don't need more expands right now. We'll take robots anyway. So we pay the one to explore the neighbor. We've got a large hint for water, a large hint of silicate, and a large hint of water. One of these is owned locations. So there's actually an argument maybe to flood a large area and then pick up the locations with ocean locations, because they're a little bit easier to get a bunch of. Do you want silicates or nitrates? Let's go for the water earlier. Let's try to get the farm set up. So there's 10 water, which means I can set the first of 3 farms up. I could even put the robots down. Oh, that's actually, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the robots down. We'll wait a turn to get a roll for that. Europa is oceans. Tempting. Titanium, water, atmosphere, radiation protection. I think we'll go the oceans first. Oh, no, let's grab some housing. We need some housing fairly soon. So, the thought process that's tempting here is I can put a in-depth survey on the large aquifer, make it a gigantic-sized one, which is 30 oceans, expand to it, pay the power cost, not necessarily in search for water, but to get the first terraforming done here. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get a little bit of science going. And then we want to explore the silicate mine. That way we can do an in-depth survey on it. We'll probably set that up as a mine. Though we're not going to grab it right now. Advanced land clearance. Tempting, a lot of science though. Urban planning is probably actually what we're going to go with here. I'm tempted with the power running. We're starting to run out of spots, so we'll probably hold off on the power. Yep, we'll grab it. Worst case scenario, we'll dump it for a science later. We'll do you, find some more water. And let's do in-depth on the silicate deposit. I may do in-depth on the, well, next turn I'll probably do in-depth on the aquifer here, just to max out the amount of in-depth we can get. Oh, 12 science would be tempting. It would allow us to get urban planning down right away. We'll see what we get. Lab, ingenuity, entertainment. Let's grab the entertainment. Yeah, I'm going to do the in-depth survey instead of science. Hop into the city, do the bus station. And the entertainment. When we have food, the house will go here, so it gets the adjacency off of those. Leave that maybe for an adjacency or something. We should be getting up to 6 people in here, so we should at least be able to fit sort of the standard mega project in here. And then that did lower the cost, so we can say pop over there, collect you. Have you in theory got enough to come over and take the water one? We'll hold off a little bit on the water one. Mineralogy is out. Either security or politics is in. I'm leaning to politics. Industrial lobbying here will be pretty useful. Another launching pad. Do I want power production or do I want power? Let's push for power production, which means send the other silicate out, take another power in. That way we can get up to the 9 tritium faster. I can't explore because that's going to cost at least 2 power. I could do the interclass dialogue center for +1 comfort of living. This is only going to be a +2, so we probably want to do that at some point. But that's during this leader, and for her, that's again, it's only +2. When we get the HAB module down, it would technically be +4. Still not particularly good in slot. It might be something we overwrite. Whereas getting the 1-1-1-1 here, I think is the stronger play. At least until we get the farms down. Nitrates in, silicates in, tritium in. As tempting as it is for the power to get the tritium, that's actually more nitrates or the tritium than I need. Whereas I do need a lot more nitrates. We're not even going to have to we're taking this for science. Science. Okay, yeah. We're going to take nitrates. That allows us to get a farm down immediately. Industrial lobbying as well. And farm. And farm. Now we only need is the 22 nitrates. And we can have a 6 farm, or 6 food income. Really letting us get stuff going a little faster. Now, the most expensive U I can do is only worth 3 anyway. So, large nitrates is probably a good choice. 4 more nitrates, some more food. Oh, next turn I'll have enough food to get the HAB module down now. That was a good find. Methogen or... I tend to like this one better even though it's a little bit lower, or a bit higher recharge duration. Take the landing pad. And then, yeah, we pop in here, we pop you down. Next turn, we'll have the tritium to go down. Yeah, next turn, we'll have the tritium to go down. I think I'm still going to push this button again. So I can get over to the water. Next turn we'll also have the power, or no, we won't have the power because it's 8 power to set up. That's the drawback, I suppose, of making the large. Yeah. I definitely don't need as much tritium, right? So back off one on the tritium, because we're going to get the tritium generated down for 9. I could actually export another of something, which I think will make it the titanium. And let's turn that into power. So we'll have 6 instead of 8. If I think I'm going to do industrial lobbying, we can actually back that one off. That'll make it 7. That's still 1 short of what I want, ideally. Okay, sorry for the jump cut. Only decided to start listening to stuff that may have, if I'd continued to be picked up, there's a very slight sort of ghostly whisper in the background. So I decided to stop the recording while we were dealing with that. Where was I? Okay, so I was trying to generate power. It'd be really good if we could get 1 more power, but we can't at the moment. Because then we could get the aquifer mine going. We would take a 1 opinion hit to mine the nitrates. It is... In fact, actually, it's... We'll see next turn. It is tempting to go ahead and get that nitrates mine up and running. Eco home. We don't have the science. We've got other things we want to spend the science on. The nice thing about that is it drops the food requirement. We actually got quite a decent food income right now. We'll just take the science here. We'll do industrial lobbying. That gives us the tritium. Set the generator up. So you're going to be the soil. One of these needs to be... I think one of these is going to be the Robot Ingenuity Center. When we get enough science saved up. Which, we're desperate for science. And then we have 1 sort of flex slot here. Otherwise we're done here. How badly do I want the nitrates? So we've got 7 now. Basically got a demand of 12. I'm gonna get 5 more. Okay, yeah, so we can do it. Take the support hit to get that mine set up, and then we'll set that one up. We can go ahead and click that because that's gonna be a long-term plan. Don't have a good place for a regolith burner, but we got the titanium for it, so it's maybe a little tempting to grab. That would actually be not necessarily for it might be interesting to set a city up just to place that, because we get quite a bit of support off of a city with a lot of rocks. Though the power is still more tempting. We'll take the power one. Let's see what these 2 are. Let's see what this is. Canyon view. Okay, so that's probably a city site. There's only probably 2 city sites in this zone. That's not too bad. That just means we don't necessarily want to do something that's a lot of population here. It may mean we want to do like the elevator here, when the elevator comes up as a choice. We'll do industrial lobbying and get the aquifer mine going. So with that, we have water income. We don't actually... No, we'll continue starting with it. We'll save until we have 20, or until we have 10 water, and we'll start trading it away for power. I'm also a little less desperate for power, so let's start getting that up and running. Space elevator. Yeah, let's start saving up the titanium for the space elevator. And we got hit with a sandstorm. 2 power, 2 food, water. Okay, so we can just mitigate the damage, that's fine. Don't really got a place for the lab. Don't have the landing pad. Yeah, okay, we'll just scrap this for the science. We'll grab our enabling planning. We'll spend... Oh, right now we're going to take a hit. And we don't have the power anyway. Okay. Could do that for the +4. We'll do that for the +4. We can overwrite it later. Expectations are rising. Looks like this might be a game that's going to try to end this run fairly early on us. You're probably the most tempting because you're at least radiation protection. I think it's been 2 to explore there. That is a lava tube location. We get the food and the water. This wouldn't be a bad place to set up. I could set up like here. Toss the regolith burner down here to get a 3 atmosphere generation on +1 power. Huge asteroid. Give the ship power and titanium. One of each per turn. Could probably actually do that. I think we'll take that. We'll scrap this for the science. Okay. So we're not going to be making any power for a bit. That's maybe the most concerning thing about our current state. Could still use some more water. Could still, well, food we can't predict if we're going to get food. It's just gambling for food. Okay, so I've got enough water to set up the lava tube. We're just waiting on the food. Mercury, tritium, Titan for nitrates, Io for silicates. I do like that tritium choice. This would be like +4 expands. If we get into our place here, we do have a spot we could put it there. We'd be better off the Robot Ingenuity Center, so we'll hold off and do the Robot Ingenuity Center instead. No space for you. Yeah, let's hold for science, so we can get the Ingenuity Center quicker. So I can explore for 2 power, or I can industrial lobby. Get some of the resources going. We'll do the industrial lobby. Ocean is tempting. The extra Martian exploration is also tempting. We'll do the exploration there. This person's out, new person's in. Politics are out, we gotta get efficient construction, which makes the megastructures cheaper. Real tempting, because then that means we can get space going faster. Or +1 trade route for every 3 new ones we make. Most of what we want is on the planet, so I think we'll do efficient mega construction. If we can source the water, the hydroponics won't actually be too bad. Yeah, let's go water, because if we can source the water, that'll be pretty good. To get our new city, we'll get more stuff going quicker. Let's satellite some nitrates. That allows us to set up a soil factory. Oh, and I should probably place that. Efficient construction. Then place the soil factory. And we did lower the cost for the space elevator. Let's get the space elevator down. It actually gives us 3 more routes. Well, technically gives us 2, and it gives us a free export route for 2 of our resources, one of which we were shipping, so that's where the 3rd one comes from. Wait, the biggest problem with this, how it is I'm not making any titanium, which is, it'll be fine. We're gonna need a bunch of nitrates. We maybe don't need nitrates at that point then. We'll use it to get some water, because I've got some ideas for what we can do with some water. Yeah, we're gonna get the lava tube down. We're gonna try to get the regolith burner down pretty quickly once we're there. It's gonna get one free expansion, and then there's actually a decent place pretty early on in that where we can shove another house. Maybe it doesn't make sense to put the Marsha there, because there's already radiation protection here. And the bonus from the Marsha is that it ignores radiation, but okay. Population district. Research district. Or power district. We got the cell kits. We can pretty easily get the tritium. I can actually get a pretty nice adjacency here. Let's grab that. We're gonna have a little bit of a struggle with figuring out what to do with all our stuff, but we'll live. We'll figure out how to do. So we've got 3 things that make power. 1 thing that gives us a bonus for having adjacency with power. This doesn't actually necessarily mind being next to housing, so I could potentially put the main node there. Clear, clear, clear. Build, build, build thing. Yeah, okay. Okay. And then you go there, even though technically you're not making any power yet. And then as we get the resources, we can clear the rocks, put the power in, get some really high power yield here. I suppose I can go back. Does this... Actually, one more back. So if I click this, too few... It doesn't affect the found state. Found state always stays the same cost. That makes sense. I'm going to save 2 nitrate, or 2 silica that way. Maybe not a big difference, but it's a non-zero difference. And actually, this doesn't really want to be a very big city. We're going to like grab the high spot and the canyon view here. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep the canyon view. Oh, did I not get around to setting up large silicates? I did not get around to setting up large silicates. Whoops. So yeah, I'm probably wanting more titanium. Let's swap you over to making some titanium. You'll be done in 7 divided by 3, 3.5 turns. Okay. Do we have the slot? Don't have the slot. Science. The reason being is if I had the slot, I'd take the Tundra Forest. We don't, so we're taking the Dark Bacteria. Probably don't have the power for a sort of cleanup tour. And I suppose the weakness with this guy is if you're not doing efficient construction, it's not actually that good, because you generally don't want to do sort of cleanup tour unless you're real power rich. We're moving in that direction, we're just not there yet. Got anything I'm gonna place? Don't have the titanium or the food for that. Working on... Well, we don't actually have any tritium coming in. We can get some by exploration, get some by trading. I do think I want the titanium first so we can get the gas coming, even though it's going to be or the atmosphere coming, even though it's going to be a weaker one. Okay. Housing's tempting, but we'll turn it into science. Satellite you. Tritium. So now, if I had the power, and I technically don't have the power, I could press this button, I could clear rock for 1 power short for that. We'll have the power next turn. If we're going to do that sort of stuff, yes. Mega structures being cheaper is tempting. If we're grabbing 100 tiles, actually, regional buildings being cheaper is probably pretty valuable. So let's grab that. I'm going to scratch this for the science. Let's take smart electrical grid. Make those regional buildings cheaper. Notably, oh, you're not counted as a regional building. Only makes things like lightning bands cheaper. Okay. Still, big savings on the bacteria is better. We're saving 5 science off of that. Mercury or Europa. We'll do... Yeah, we're probably going to be exporting silica early on, so let's do Mercury. Get that tritium coming in. And now we have a bunch of trade routes. Extra Martian exploration mission. Let's ship one there. Or, no, let's ship 2 there. So we got 1 left. Ooh, that's... Yeah, let's do silica. We'll start moving on trying to get that silica one. Efficient construction, pop in here. We can clear one of the rocks. I think that one wants to be the regolith burner. We've also got the water to pop in the other one. We'll upgrade one of the farms. So it's maybe not a... It's making the city more efficient, but it's not necessarily a ideal upgrade there. Well, ideal would be putting it somewhere where we don't already have one. Oceans. Tempting. Because if we can get the oceans, then we can do... Again, we can do expanding that way. You know, we'll grab the oceans. Complete EU, get a bunch of nitrates. We technically don't need the nitrates right now. But we've got them if we need them. I want titanium right now, so we're not going to trade it away. We do want some tritium right now, so we don't want to trade it away. I've probably got enough... Well, we're working to get more silica production, so trading to get more silica production, I think, is a sane thing to do. Yeah. So that'll give us the 8 we need for the silica mine, which will give us 2 more silica, and then we might swap over to exporting a little bit more of that. We'll see. Got nothing to build this turn, so we'll just take the 15 support. Phobos Moon City would mainly be water. Very not interested in just water. Have with heating unit, I'm tempted, because if we can get that plus that, we can get up to 3 on Mercury. Oh, that's the 3. Yeah, if we finish that, we can do that for the 3 on... Or no, up to get all the Europa. So that's 60 Europa. That will bring us up to the next water level. We don't have the titanium for that because it's not for mine. I badly do want more titanium. Yes, the answer is yes. I want a lot of titanium and I want it now. Oh, there's some more food. Making me want titanium more? Okay. Because our next food is either the Martia or city founding. That wouldn't be the best place for a city. Wouldn't be the worst place for a city. Actually, with the large titania, large tritium, large nitrates would be a decent place for that. And then we could fuss with the trade rates a bit. How much do I need power? I can probably make do with that power for the moment. So we can do back on you, back on you, back off on you for the moment. Work to get those done real quick. Titanium will start to fill up. Oh, we do want some power because we need to clear some rocks so we can get some space. So I need to not spend everything right now. In fact, I should probably get more power quickly. So we'll still export silica, take in some power. Okay, that's a way to get more power. So then we can back that off. There we go. So now we're actually making net 2 power. Now that means I can afford to clear rocks for building things as we get the input for them. Okay. I do want to put the housing down right now. If I put the housing down, which we could put down, that gives another expand. The viewpoint tower is maybe not the best expand location. I think technically it's still there even if we put a landing pad on top of it. That would give us another launch capacity or trade route. Not that I would have the titanium to put the launch pad down. Well, we know it's going to grab it. Yeah. Okay, let's get you down. Gives us a little bit more support. Allows us to grab that. What we're going to do with that X yet, I'm not so sure, but we're grabbing it. I do have the card space for it, so we can go ahead and pick up the plan spreader. We're going to want plan spreader. In fact, we could put the plan spreader down right now. Yeah, let's put the plan spreader down right now. We can't get the plant down yet, because nowhere's warm enough yet that we have access to. But that'll be a little bit of a reminder for whenever we get more life. Okay. We'll come back to this choice. Enable you prepare for some ocean. This will get us the other 50 from there, which will level us up. Forget if it's 120 or not. It might be 120. For our choice, let's take the import oceans. We may dump that later. Tritium or titanium. At a tritium titanium location, so we'll do that. Okay, so that is enough to do efficient construction, clear rock, put down the magnetic fusion plant. Technically this is going to be like -2 support, but I think +3 power is strong enough to offset -2 support for the moment, sort of value-wise. I've got 2 trade routes. Suppose for the moment we can do you and you. And then turn next we'll have the trade routes back to go sign somewhere. Okay. Leader done, one in, so we can either get global warming, mines are cheaper, could have used that earlier. Atmosphere, interplanetary logistics. If we're going to go up to the moon, city mines for free would be really strong. Interplanetary trade. Weather control facility is always nice. Don't think... Well... We've already got the Marsha there, right? So the radiation... Radiance of radiation city isn't going to be too bad. We're going to have to put it next to one of the people, so that's still going to be -2 support. Well, it's going to be -3 support. And it's only +1 tritium. Maybe not. We'll come back to this. If we're going up to the moon has water deposits, so we could use him to get the get the mines for free. Go up there real quick. Also drop the silicate, so we'd be getting very quickly into mercurial soil panels. We're not going to work on that one. We're going to use the heating module. What do we got as far as sites? That's an interesting one, the tritium deposit, so that'd be a free, potentially a free tritium mine. What's in here? Nothing quite so interesting in that one. Those are the only two I know about. You know, we'll probably settle that one. We may settle the one on the moon. Let's go ahead and go with Mr. Interplanetary Logistics here for his free mines. He's also cheaper to explore with. I'm willing to pay 3 to explore. So let's get the neighboring sites here so we can set that city up. Black Sand Dunes. Oh yeah, definitely one up there so we can set the Black Sand Dunes up so we can do the atmosphere stuff. Yes. We need 2 more titanium. We'll have 2 more titanium next turn. We've got 2 unused launch capacity. We can use it to start shipping the tritium. And I can research a project. No, we're going to trade this for science. If I wanted more expanse, and we'll want more expanse at some point, we can now put down the Robot Ingenuity Center. Might actually want to put the Bacteria Spreader down soon. Of course, the game is really trying to get us to lose. Let's see how successful it is at that. Robot Hub is tempting. Robot Hub is tempting. Yeah, let's go to the Robot Hub. Okay, and then you. We're going to be careful. Is anything we got going to flood? You will flood. And the Black Sands will flood. Okay, so we need to set you up first. Because otherwise something we want is going to literally disappear. Oh, and I need to know the adjacent locations. And I can't know the adjacent locations this turn because I don't have enough explorers. Ah. I can hold off. I don't have to press that button. We can come back to that. Which is what we'll do. We'll hold off. It's going to be sitting there like, you should do this. And I'm like, no, I can't do that yet. We'll do at least the one up there. Okay. Could start to ship. No, we still want some more titanium. Is kind of the problem. We want that ocean. We don't want that ocean now. We got surplus food. Let's trade food to titanium. Yeah. So we can get titanium stuff going. Because we're going to need it for the dikes and stuff. Import gas. Tempting. Cooling also. Let's get the city set up and we can come back to that. So you grab the large nitrates deposit, sadly, in the ocean. We set you up there. It's warning us that we have potentially issued the dike, so we'll upgrade. We'll build the dike. Name the other location we want. We want undiked. We'll dike it. Actually, do I dike it? Yeah, we want that one diked. We will harvest the black sand. We'll put the landing pad down. Gives them the trade route. We'll then enable you. Do the Europa. Click. Click. Get some floods, which is why we needed those dikes in, so that we can keep those 2 hexes. Because otherwise we're going to lose those hexes. We have the black sand, so we can come over here. No, it's that problem. Okay, into the city, out of the city. There we go. And then this is the place where we can spread for free, 10 atmosphere, 10 heat. And we've got 40 and 50, so we've got enough to get the ocean all the way maxed out. We, of course, can't put the plant down yet. We do still want more titanium. One of the things we can do is we can ship titanium up, like so. Let's ship 2 up. Let's get progress on getting that ocean in. So now if we pop back here, yeah, the habit, the cooling unit, that'll give us more tritium, that'll give us more other stuff. So once we start clearing through these, we'll move over to that one. Once again, we're going to end up in a flood situation if we don't do anything. Taking these 2 tiles. We're not in a rush to solve that problem, though. Cultured meat. Yeah, we'll do the cultured meat. I'll guess 2 food. Cultured meat is by default 1, but we've got farm site and free mining operation. And then I do have the power, so we clear the rock, we put down the regolith burner. The titanium. How desperate? We'll do one more cycle on getting some titanium shipped in like we are. So I've got enough to put the robots down. I'm not sure if I'm where or if I'm going to put the robots down right away. And then we'll swap over to very rapidly trying to get the cooling unit sent so we can get some more tritium coming in. Yeah, and I suppose we don't need to worry about the silicate export because we're gonna do that anyway. Okay. So we're gonna back down on this because we don't need the titanium that badly. You probably want enough that we're gonna do that as the import, and then we do 2 there, 2 there. That'll be done in 5 turns. Okay. We might not be here in 5 turns. Entirely different set problem. 2 power for, yeah, let's find out what the state of that X is going to be. 21 support, 3 water, and we'll do that one probably next, even though that's not going to provide any support. Trade district, population district, or exploration district. I'm actually a little bit tempted to do the exploration. Double rover wouldn't be bad. Though in a way, we have more potential for food to get the population up and going. Okay, do population. Okay, I'm gonna pay the 2 to explore there. Finds us even more food. Satellite here. I'm gonna go there. So we've got a city site that we can set up in the very near future. Let's do domed park, skyscraper. And I might actually set up the regular house there. Get the city up before, and then we can put the robot in for 6 or something. Yeah. Must be built on an ocean location, which means we need like a dock or something to get into the ocean. Don't think we can do any plants yet. No, we need to get temperature up by 1. We don't really got anything in the works for getting the temperature up right now, which is a little bit of an issue. It's a little bit of an issue. Artificial bacteria, sure. Venus, no. Nitrates is tempting. Is that in for the support, I think? We've got the water. We'll do that option. And we'll overwrite again. We'll overwrite a farm. Regular farm. Get +1 food coming in a turn. What resource do I need the most? Actually, arguably don't really need the tritium. So, grabbing something that provides titanium would be a bad idea. So 4, got 5 titanium out of it, yeah. Okay, with that, we can probably afford to do some diking. From a mega structure standpoint, this is going to be a bad place to put the weather. Probably don't want to put the arcology here. So that costing 1, and that one costing 1. Actually, I suppose there's an argument not to put those there, because they cost 1 right now until I'm going to use them. Don't have the tritium to use them. So unless I need to grab them to upgrade the dikes to keep hold of them, pass on them. Let's upgrade these dikes quickly. So now we don't have to worry about getting these done. And do I still want more titanium? Probably. If anything, we're getting too much power, which in a way is a good thing. We don't have the space for you. We really don't need the silicates either. We'll just take the support bonus. Power, titanium. We don't have enough oxygen for that to really be worth it. The dock is tempting. Yeah, take the dock. We'll place the dock. We can prospecting tour for 2. We can immediately claim the prospected location and put a electrolysis unit there. We've got the food for the housing. Don't actually have the water for a new city, so we'll do the housing first. Spurgeon, grab the rolls, sure. So you've got 6. You've only got 2, but we're probably not building... Well, if we build something, we'll probably build the archaeology here. Would actually be a good place. You're working on you. It's actually science to upgrade you, so I probably should save up some science and get more trade routes. Because we're a bit trade route bottlenecked right now. In fact, given that, let's start trading for science. We don't have any spots for you. Don't want the comfort of living, negative. Yep. Take the science. So that we don't lose you. Grab you. Dike you. And I realized we need to dike you. Got something else? Ah. There. We need some more titanium for that. Can we get that by... reconnaissance? Maybe. 1 short. We can, oh, we can still do an explore for 3, get some titanium, there we go. Means we can do the other dike. Okay, so now we're ready for the ocean level rise. is actively trying to make me lose, it might succeed. Enable you. So we've got 2 turns at the current rate. I don't think we're going to continue for 2 turns at the current rate, so this might be a short run. Okay. Move you there. We're going to drop spaceport there. That gives me a bunch of silica export capacity. Also gives me a little bit of support. Not giving me enough support is kind of what's going on. Don't think we can get the temperature. If we can get +1 temperature, we can do some forests. That would save us. Export some nitrates as well. So that gives us 1 launch, 2 imports. Or no, 1 import, 1 launch. Okay, so that does that in 3, that does that in 2, or does that one in 3, that one in 2. If we can survive, we've got a plan. We're probably not surviving that long, but we have a plan for if we can continue. Current leader out, new one in. We take nationalism or equal classical architecture. I think that's each time you construct a dike level. Existing dikes I don't think count. Nationalism. We're not going to be able to... Well, and we're doing a bunch of trading with Earth, so it's probably this one. Documentary will get us 25. That does that. I think that buys us 1 more turn. Yeah, that buys us 1 more turn. I've got the water, I've got the food, so I can set a colony up. That'll buy us a little bit more time. And not really interested in those. Dump over science. Your +5 support. Go ahead and grab the +5 support. Mercurial solar surfing. We're not going to get that in time. We'll think it's too dangerous to buy us another turn. Don't really have the titanium for that, nor does that really help. Enable you. Getting the ocean down will buy us another turn. We do want 5. We can actually import. Okay, so that'll finish you. That'll buy us another turn completing that. Give us the last of the ocean expand. Now we can make do that at the spot. So let's satellite you. That's super useful. Let's actually go ahead and put down the Robot Ingenuity Center. It means I can claim more hexes. Do we have any high ground hexes? Like there was that one. That might have been the only one I could see. Okay, no, it does appear to be the only one I could see. We're going to give that a hex. We're going to put a solar panel on it. There's even more power. And then, yeah, draw me a new megastructure. Safari Park doesn't really work for what we want. That's going to be actively harmful. If we can put that in the same zone where we've got the weather control facility, that will be pretty good. Which reminds me, what do we need for the weather control facility? 12 science. Okay, so the unused trade route should be going to science, which is kind of what they're going to. Okay. None of those really help. We'll take the food one. Wait, you get the ocean. That buys us a couple of turns. See the full extent of the ocean in the north here. This feels like a big ocean. Yeah, I'm thinking this zone down here is probably going to be where we try to set up the weather control facility. Got the food, we got the water, so we can set you up. I need to get another person in here before we can set up the weather control facility. Okay. Oh, and I can go ahead and clear the rock there. Then over this one, we can go clear the rock as well. So we could set the mine up. We had the titanium. Either of those we could set up as well. Okay. So don't need the tritium. Still very, very, very interested in the science, so it's probably science we're trading for. Take the explore location in 25. Spread that there is no Earth conspiracy theory. Yeah, okay, I suppose that's a lot of support, but that's costing me science, and I kind of need that science. Could do with a little bit more water. I'll take you. So we'd lose access to design a megastructure. Maybe don't need the megastructure. I can't kick it to the next turn, so there's no scenario where I can get that and the Elysium Eco-Classical Headquarters. Yeah, okay. You know what, we'll just... Oh, and it stops me from trading for Earth for 10 turns. No. Okay. We don't have the water to put the city down. Oh, I suppose I could get that nitrate mine. If we wanted to. We'll hold off there. Oh, I do need that titanium, so the titanium would be good. Go around the mine. Oh, I can pay 1 to get you set up so we can put down bacteria spreader. Spread some bacteria. Oxygen's tempting. Just making the zone warmer is tempting. Okay. That allows us to have a place where we can put the alpine forest down. That buys us a bunch of time. Okay. Science from Ocean Lab is tempting, but we're going to go to the bus station. Go bus station here. We can't bus station here. We've already bus station there. No point to bus station there. Wouldn't be good from a slot perspective, the bus station on Cold Ford. Okay, this is more of a test than a solo reverse anything to do. We put you down. Obviously, that saves us 2 from reducing the cost on those. Does it affect? No, it does not affect the ocean one. If it affected the ocean one, I'd put it there. That's my logic on that choice. Yeah, probably wants to go here or there. We'll put it here. There. That's going to let me grab that one right away. We don't have the titanium to set those up. We may soon. Those are going to be large waters. Not that I necessarily need water. Large end of water. Grab the one that's also science. Ocean pit mine. It's actually a deep one, which is somewhat nice. Not any mega project. Deep core. We do have a place that would actually make a lot of sense, deep core, so let's actually grab that. And that's actually this one here. We have a bunch of rocks here. If we ever decide to get rid of the rocks, that'd be pretty valuable. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't actually worth grabbing. Let's back up. Ooh, the dike. Dike bonus. We do have a city with a bunch of dikes. We've even got the people to set the dikes, the thing up. So, +2 robots, atmosphere thing. Then that'll provide a bunch of power. Okay. Next turn, we'll have the science to upgrade you. To give us 3 more trade routes, and will give us 1 food export trade route for the food. Okay. Get plankton. The heat is tempting. Definitely have the transport capacity to make that really viable, I think. Okay, drop in here, upgrade you. That gives us some food export routes. That gives me a pretty heavy desire to very rapidly try to complete you. So we can get you half done in 1 turn. I'll have to find 6 more tritium to do the other half. And we can come in here and do the found city. So let's do that eco. City site. We're losing at an uncomfortable rate, but it's not too bad. If anything, I actually kind of need food. You would want food. You want science, but we need some people in the city, which is why we need food. You I can actually put down. If we had people, which, again, requires food. Okay. These two I do kind of want in the same zone. So we're looking for people. Right now our only food source, or only population source... if I hadn't taken that, we could have done a 25. Is food bottled. Let's actually back down. Let's not take that food in. Let's not import that science. How desperate am I for science? Actually, arguably, right now, not very badly. Let's do that. That will provide me with enough tritium that the next turn when we complete that, that'll get the heat up. And then we can swap over to food. One of these gives me people. Though Automation Center does drop the requirement by half. So I'm actually on board to grabbing one of those, so we don't have to grab as much people. We have the titanium for use. We'll grab it for the heat in the atmosphere. I'll get the atmosphere up into... how much does it matter which one I put the weather control ceiling in? It probably doesn't. Right now. So we'll put you there. Now let's just do the first level. Got an anomaly. Don't have the titanium to set that up. We're gonna want some more housing here. Central Park. It's gonna be like Central Park in the Safari, so I could go fishing for the Safari. Or the plant one. Yeah, okay. So let's go fishing. Hang Gardens. So the plants here will definitely buy me a lot more time from the perspective of not losing the game. Okay. And we passed the turn, so we don't need the tritium so badly. Let's go for the food so we can try to get the population in. I think this is a good place for a part break, so sorry YouTube for the jump cut in the middle, and sorry Twitch for, again, the longer than desired break in the middle. We basically had a 15-minute downtime where we won't do anything. Once again, we're going to do the middle stream, or we're going to do middle stream break here, middle run break here. I'll be right back with the next part after a short break on my end. If you're watching on YouTube, the next part will be up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, this should be a shorter break than the accidental break in the earlier bit. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now. Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Terraformers in this pop-up stream on an expansionist run on maximum difficulty. And I think we've got some progress going on. We're going to get some food so we can get some more people in. We're going to go ahead and import methane as soon as we end this turn, which will provide us more temperature. Will actually technically provide us the next atmosphere as well. Oh, there goes expectations up. We are going to need some more exploring, so let's assume we're going to grab that. We're going to grab you. That's the atmosphere, that's the temperature. Let's work to try to complete you rapidly. So we've got 8 launch capacity, though we've got 3 free if it's silica. So that actually brings us up to 14. Don't actually really have the space science to keep a full speed going, but we'll say something like that to start. Well, we got a little bit extra power, so we can do that to make sure we can do that for 2 turns. And I've got 3 more routes. Let's take that as food. Let's do some exploration away from our stuff. I think I've basically got the settles that I want, or the mega products we want. So we'll just do some exploration documentaries. Oh, there is a fourth site here. I really wanted to play around with all the mega structures that need, like, warmth, rain, nitrogen. I think the safari is the other one. So maybe we'll spend 2 turns searching for that. In the meantime, we're kind of hoping that our plant life comes down off of cooldown. Plankton comes off of cooldown. You're probably... We might end up handing you over to someone else, but we'll the tours there. Would be 8 titanium there, or I can get a tritium, or I can get a nitrates. Got plenty of nitrates, let's grab the tritium. There's definitely use for more tritium. Two every time you increase food, water, or nitrates. +1 every time you build a building. +2 every time you increase titanium, tritium, power. You're actually probably cheapest, and maybe the one I'll actually get the most use out of. That's terraforming, not necessarily helping us do what we want, but we got power. We can just happily just slap that in somewhere. We can always override it later when we don't need it. And then we're going to search for some bigger projects. Looking for the safari. I suppose if I go pull again, we'll try to pull for the Zeppelin as well. Because the Zeppelin's also pretty nice. Especially as we get the hemisphere up. But yeah, this requires oxygen to 3 to get max. Mainly provides a bunch of support if we have animals. Which will be what we're working on, I suppose. Okay, so we're going to complete satellites. I'm going to keep the trade for science because we want some science. In fact, I'm actually going to increase the trade for science. Because we're a little bit desperate for that to be applied. And then we're going to get 2 people in here. We can do Central Park first, or Hanging Garden. We'll want to do the Hanging Garden first. The plant spreading. Oh yeah, the game really wants me to lose. And it may succeed. We'll find out. Definitely take the housing. Complete you, get the explore. Let's explore there, because that opens up the opportunity to maybe settle in that site. Oh, I need to explore... Those are actually probably good places to explore with the special person, with the leader. There we go. So there's the Zeppelin. Housing-wise, let's start off... Put the skyscraper down. So I can either build Safari Park, Central Park, or Hanging Gardens. We're going to go Hanging Gardens here. If I put the next person down, we'll be able to grab 1 plant spread. I can grab that titanium. We got the stuff up for the nitrates. We'll grab the nitrates. Okay. So again, the game's really trying hard to get us to lose where we're at, I think. So what am I trying to build? We want food. There's an argument. Like we'll have the titanium. I need 23 food, so I would need another 10 food coming in. We could do that pretty easily. That would provide me the food to get this down, which would give me the next upgrade there. And presumably just trade power for that. Well, these are actually 3 more trades we could do. You would need tritium. Maybe not the greatest of all, so another 5 trade routes. Nothing's built here. If we had a bunch of food, we could do the archaeology. If we had a bunch of tritium, we can do the exploration. We probably want to do the exploration because we need to get up to... We need to know where 100 sites are to own them. Junction here is just waiting on titanium. This would provide us with more power. We're not super desperate for power. That's not going to help us not lose. You need more people. You might actually what I go for next. No, I'm not gonna have the science for you next. We'll go for the plant spread. The plant spread will also help a little bit with not losing. And then you want to be that, which is just getting people there. Okay, so we'll see what we pull people-wise. Or robot-wise. We can make do with robots as well. Assuming it is robots, actually, let's trade for some titanium. Electioneer. Eco-classical architecture's out. Either space tourism is in, or space religion is in. Thinking space religion. Gives us some extra product choices, which isn't bad. Deep core drill facility. That's very variable. Not saying that that's bad, just very variable. Anyway, that gives us some more choices. Very tempted to grab the housing. We need housing. There were robots here to grab the robots instead of the housing, but we'll go with the housing. Okay. Okay, let's... Instead of doing the water one... or instead of doing... Oh, you're actually a 2, right? So you're a human and a robot. We'll do just the human one here. Brings up to 4. Allows us to do the Hanging Gardens. If anything, we're interested in another 2 import of food. We do have silicates we can export, so we can say silicates out, some titanium in. Still interested in more science. We can spread a plant. We have 1 plant to spread, so that's the plant we're going to use. Plus 4 support if the climate zone has a city. Climate 2 cold, climate 2 dry. We got no city in there. We could put a city there, I suppose. We don't have a city in there. That one's the one that we're going to be easiest to put a city in, so let's put it there. A bit disappointing that the climate's too dry there, because our climate is not getting wetter. It might get warmer, it's not getting wetter. What's our next plant? 5 turns, so we're probably not going to succeed in going that long, I suspect. Support Android hub. Let's grab the end. Well, we'll think about it. Plus 10 support's hard to pass up, especially when we can definitely afford it. Here's some more choices. Give us another housing choice. Homesteads is not bad. Plus 4 support. Costs a lot of titanium. Got that. If we wanted to do you, and we do want to do you, we've got the science. Okay, so that does make sense to do one of our housing here. So we'll grab the housing. fact, if I put the combined living center here, we could do all the upgrades as soon as the science is available. And then, yeah, we're going to want a third one just for the adjacency and stuff. But okay, let's put that down. Yeah, it's really hard to pass up on plus 10. Apparently not even enough to buy us a turn, though. Yep, I think that's a defeat. This is so short. I'll go ahead and just merge this part in this previous video into the same video, and make the last one a little bit alongside, but we'll go ahead and do that. If you're watching on YouTube, to be fair, at this point, what I've said is the video has already ended, but I'm going to go ahead and do an extend. We're going to go ahead and merge the two videos into one because the second one was just really, really short. This was a pop-up stream, so there won't be a follow-up one tomorrow. You got a really long extra one today, is basically what happened. We'll try that again. I don't think that's undoable. I've been out to 90 tiles before. It's really a difficulty of trying to get enough support. The game doesn't sort of like a bull kick you off while trying to do the objective. And it can sometimes be a bit hard to do both at the same time. If I'd got a little bit luckier with my plant choice when I selected the plant, we probably could have done it. But yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, again, this was a pop-up stream, so there'll probably be another, well, there'll still be videos up tomorrow, there'll be videos up today. We'll see if I end up having time for another pop-up stream to have more of this. I suppose the next one to try will be like Settling Soul. I may try doing this one again before I do Settle Soul. Because to be fair, 20 developments is hard. 20 development is hard. There's I think there's 8 bodies, 3 levels by default on them, so there's 24 possible. One of the leaders puts an extra one on, so that kicks it up to the 32. So you don't have to get all of them. You can be a bit picky. And it's maybe not a big jump over this one, right? So 10 to 14, might be able to do it. I also happen to like space, so maybe it's not as hard as I'm thinking about. But yeah, we might try. The next pop-up stream will probably be some of the other scenarios. Might not go right back to Expansionist right away. But yeah, so if you're watching on Twitch, the regular planned stream will be up later tonight. Once again, we'll have Field of Glory Empires going up. And yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can probably expect that to be, well, you can expect there to be parts of that up, because there's some of that recorded, there'll be more of that up, sort of thing. So with that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time until the next part of the next stream. And with that, bye for now.